Good morning. I would like to introduce you to a dear friend of mine, Mr. Greg Korn. Greg is the former pastor of Dobbins Baptist Church down in Rutherford County, North Carolina for almost 2 years. He is also the former pastor of churches by Skyland Baptist Church in Buncombe County, North Carolina for nearly 5 years, and also an interim pastor where he done interim work for nearly 2 years at Laurel Hill Baptist Church down around Spartanburg, South Carolina. Greg is a former student at Fruitland Baptist Bible Institute where he graduated with his associate's degree, where also he spent hours spending time at North Greenville University and Gardner-Webb University. Greg is a firm believer in a pulpit supply ministry that he now tries to promote and go upon. Churches out there that need pastors who are having a difficult time finding men to fill the pulpit and deliver sermons that come from the Word of God. Greg fills that role. He has a heart for churches that need pastors but also need firm but also affirming and sometimes correcting sermons. Greg likes to preach words expositionally from the Word of God, where not only is the Word of God spoken, but sometimes it gets on our toes and gets in our face. Greg also has had the privilege of speaking in many revivals here in our local association, in the Tuckasegee Association in Jackson County. Greg has had the opportunity to speak at Scotts Creek Baptist Church and also at Oak Hill Baptist Church, where I am the current pastor. Greg likes to do interim work where sometimes he'll fill in for longer periods of time for churches that need pastors where they do not have one. Greg is a family man. He has been married to Miss Marie for 20 plus years now, where they have one daughter, Miss Hannah. She is a student at Western Carolina University, and Greg and Marie are faithfully helping their daughter out as they're sending her through college where she can pursue her dream and goal of communications. Greg and I have been friends for almost 6 years now. I had the opportunity to announce my calling to Greg and say, "Greg, I'm being called into the ministry. What should I do?" He gave me the information and said, "You should try going to Fruitland Baptist Bible College," where I went and achieved my associate's degree. Me and him have spent time and hours on hours conversing about the Word of God, sermons from the Word of God, and truths that we have seen from the Word of God. Greg introduced me to Oak Hill Baptist Church, where I am now the pastor. And also, and most importantly, he has introduced me to men of God like Ron Dunn, Manley Beasley, Herb Revis, and even Bob Pittman. I thank Greg for that, because he is a man who not only loves the Word of God, but loves the men of God who preach from the Word of God. Greg is a man founded upon the truth. And Greg has two things on his mind. Number one, exposition of the Word of God. Number two, the glory of God, and a life that declares it. And this morning I want to share with you my friend, Mr. Greg Korn.